Hello everyone, this is Crystal and welcome to my channel where I share card making techniques, sweet paper crafts, and now inspiring food ideas. And today I'll be showing you how I made this vintage bird card. This is for the May 2019 Colored Card Challenge at Create at Home with G. Our colors this month are brown, orange, and pink. Stay tuned as I show you how I made this beautiful card. First, I started off with a piece of plain copy paper, and I folded it in four so I could have the actual size of the card, and I stamped it out with early espresso ink, this branch. And since it's copy paper, it'll be pretty thin, so I left all the pieces together so it would soak up the extra ink. And now I'm stamping out the bird, and I'm stamping it out in soft suede ink. And then I'm going to take my alcohol markers and I'm going to color the bird. I'm going to color him to look like a robin with an orange breast and a light brown for his body. I'll take a darker brown to the branch, and then I'll color the leaves green. And now I'm taking some smoky slate ink, and I'm stamping little leaves and little flowers to go on the end of the branch. And I'm stamping them in this lighter color because I don't want them to be quite as bright. I want them to be more subtle. And then I'll go back through and I will color with the alcohol markers the flowers in pink and the green leaves in a bright spring green. And now I'm taking some more of my distressed oxide inks, and I'm using tea-dyed Victorian Rose and Tumble Glass. And I'm just going to go and put color all the way around and just, kind of fill it in. I'll even go over the bird and the flowers and the branch too. So I'm just kind of taking it around, trying to give it a vintage feel. And now I'm going to take some of my shimmer mist. I have some in blue, and I'm shaking it up real good, and I'm going to spritz my paper down with it. I'm going to do it over the trash can, and now I'm taking my heat gun to it to dry the paper really well. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to take some copper shimmer mist, and I'm going to go over the paper again, and then I'll take the heat gun to dry it also. Now I'm taking a pair of scissors and I'm cutting down the picture because I'm going to turn this into vellum and I don't want to work with any more paper than I need to. So I bring out my little vellum pan and my brush, and I will just go ahead and I will brush this down with baby oil until it's nice and saturated on both sides, and then I'll take it out and I'll dry it really well. And I'll take out my heat gun and I'll dry it even more with the heat gun. And now I need to clean up my work surfaces, and I use hand sanitizer and a paper towel, and I go over it, and it cleans up all the oil and the excess baby oil from when I was making the vellum. It also takes off glues and inks and stuff off your work surface as well. And now I'm cutting down my piece of vellum to a lot smaller size and squaring it up. And now I'm taking a card base that is very vanilla, and I decided to take my distress oxide inks to it to kind of give it a distressed look. I'm taking the tea dyed and the vintage photo to it. The tea dyed around the card and the vintage photo around the edges. And I'll keep going back and forth until I get a nice muted look, and it looks like a nice antique area. And I took some Victorian rose and I went over a lace doily that I had, and I just kind of gave it a little bit of color, stuck it behind the robin, and kind of putting that cattywampus on the card base. And I'm just going to clamp it down to hold it in place, and then I'm going to go take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it onto the card base. And here's my card that's sewed on. And then I took a piece of green seam binding that I had got, and I just tied a bow out of it to put it on the front of the card. And now I'm taking some gold thread and I'm wrapping it around my hand, probably 8 to 9 times, and then I'll slide it off my hand and I'll twist it in half, and then I'll put a glue dot on it in the center. And then I will take and I'll put another glue dot on top, and I'll set it aside for later. And now I'm taking a stamp set that says happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp it with the black Versamark ink onto the card. My mom's birthday is later this month and she likes birds, so I thought I would go ahead and make this card for her. And I went and I took that green bow and I put that gold thread underneath it, and using those glue dots, I stuck it to the corner of the card and I cut off the long strings of the gold thread. And then I found an antique pink button and a little small white doily, and I decided to cut the shank off the back of the button, and then I hot glued it to the doily, and then glued the doily onto the bow. And then I found some pink flowers that I have, and I just hot glued them around the edge of the card. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. And hit that little bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Bye for now. Happy crafting!